as Russia's offensive gains momentum and Ukraine's defenses continue to erode. It is becoming increasingly clear that the West's strategy of using Ukraine as a proxy to weaken Russia is failing at great cost to the Ukrainian people. Reports from respected institutions and media outlets paint a grim picture. Western arms deliveries are falling short. NATO support is overstretched, and Ukraine's battlefield prospects are rapidly diminishing. Continuing this course risks not only the loss of Ukrainian territory, but the collapse of Ukraine as a functioning nation-state. It is time for the West to confront a painful but necessary truth. Pursuing total victory over Russia through continued escalation is no longer realistic. If the goal is to preserve as Russia's summer offensive presses forward and Ukraine's defenses falter, a growing number of voices across the political and analytical spectrum are warning that the West's current strategy is reaching a breaking point. Despite billions in aid and military assistance, Ukraine finds itself increasingly outmatched on the battlefield. Reports from the Quincy Institute, Le Figaro, and independent arms data suggest that Western support, though well-intentioned, is insufficient, delayed, and mismatched to Ukraine's urgent needs. Russian forces, meanwhile, are making incremental gains, capitalizing on exhausted Ukrainian units and dwindling supplies. The grim reality is setting in. The war, as it is currently being fought, is not winnable on Ukraine's terms. The West's decision to turn Ukraine into a de facto proxy front in a broader confrontation with Russia was always fraught with risk. That strategy has now reached its limits. NATO countries, while united in rhetoric, remain divided in action, slowed by political gridlock, supply chain constraints, and public fatigue. The promise of decisive victory has given way to a grinding stalemate, with Ukraine absorbing the brunt of the devastation. With every passing month, the toll grows heavier not just in lost lives and infrastructure, but in the erosion of Ukraine's long-term viability as a sovereign state. What was intended as a show of Western resolve now threatens to become a case study in strategic overreach. It is time for a fundamental reassessment. The goal must now shift from defeating Russia outright to preserving Ukraine as a nation. That will likely require painful compromises, territorial or otherwise, but such measures must be weighed against the alternative: continued war with no path to victory. Diplomacy, once dismissed as premature, is now the only rational course to avoid Ukraine's collapse and to prevent a broader, potentially nuclear confrontation. The West owes Ukraine more than weapons and promises. It owes a strategy grounded in realism, not ideology. Ending this war through negotiation may be bitter, but it is the last, best hope for salvaging Ukraine's future.